there, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. This is going to be a little get ready with me, just casual, putting on some makeup. I don't have a real theme for it. I don't even know what direction I'm going exactly with this look right now. I just wanted to get on here and kind of play around with some newish things that I've been experimenting with lately, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna start off with the thing on my desk that looks like a pink pineapple. This is the lip balm that I got from Ulta. It looks like an EOS style lip balm. It was in my Ulta haul, so I saw it in person and was completely, drawn in. It smells so good. Like a really intensely sweet fruity scent. Not quite as purely pineapple, I don't know. It does smell like pineapple. The texture, the smooth texture is really, really nice. I guess if you're one who carries around like a big tote bag style purse, I could see this being really useful because you toss it in, it's like odds are you're gonna find that, right? It's sort of rubbery feeling on the outside. You got your little top here. I don't know, I dig it. It's smoother. If you're like prepping yourself for the feel of an EOS lip balm, which some of those in the past have been, just a little more on the dry side, I almost saw them as great lip primers because they weren't too thin and like moving all around on the lips. This is thinner than that. I like it. I wouldn't call it greasy, but it's a thinner lip balm as opposed to that nice like thick Nivea feeling or something like that. Okay, we prepped. Next I'm going to use this delicate little flower of a product. I mean, look at this packaging. Got the bird on top. The bottle is gorgeous. It's from Pretty Vulgar, that random brand at Sephora that just, creeps in every so often on us. This delicate, ultra feminine looking product is called the Cool AF Lava Water Foundation. A full coverage, matte, liquid foundation that's cooling, lightweight, and long wearing for naturally flawless looking skin. I was planning on this being cooling and I've used it a few times and I can't quite pick up on how it's cooling, so I don't know. And I was also expecting this to be a lot more thin. When they call it lava water, I don't know, I was expecting like a really liquidy foundation, but it's not that liquidy. And they tell you to use 2 pumps of this stuff. They say put 2 pumps on the back of your hand. And here's 1 pump, my friends. 1 pump is pretty generous from this product. I feel like I'd be too thick and cakey if I did any more than that. But I'm just gonna dot this around. I'll let you know what shade I'm in a second. Skinny Dip is the shade I have. I'm gonna blend this in with a beauty blender today, which I have not yet tried with this foundation. But it feels like it has just a very classic liquid foundation consistency, right? So it's not like some kind of water foundation like that one from Estee Lauder, which I need to bust that out again. I really like that stuff. I'm not picking up on a real cooling sensation here. I'm just a little thrown by the product and the way it was presented on the website. It made me think like I was in for some kind of otherworldly experience here. I don't know. Did my under eyes look brighter to you when I started this? Because let me show you what I was putting on there. Skincare wise, I just gotta get this all blended out. But the coverage is great. I mean, I would say, I don't know that it's full because I'm still seeing a lot still going on, but I would say nearly full. I would take that. Had I known this product was gonna carry as much color as it does, I would have shown it on camera. I thought it was just gonna be like an eye cream. It's this Tatcha the Pearl in Moonlight, and first off I was completely befuddled as to how to open this. I'm like trying to crack it open, like I had to actually Google how do you open the pearl. Fortunately there was a forum or somewhere that knew what I was wondering about, but you twist it off and it's got this like really light brightening color and it actually like has some coverage to it. Do those of you who have this, do you use an additional eye cream with this? I mean, it does feel hydrating and all, but it carries some color. Next, I don't believe I have a brand spanking new concealer, but I have a pretty new one that I do like to use quite a bit. It's the Huda Beauty, the Overachiever concealer, and this does feel cooling. If you put it on through that little tip, it's like, ooh, nice. Whoa, Rebel squeeze tube, letting a little bit fly there. I don't know where it went. It's bothersome. At least it's like the exact color of my carpet. We're gonna do some little dabs right up in this zone, and whatever's left I'm going to use to kind of brighten up center of the face style. I purposely bought this concealer in a lightish color to really just give me that nice lightened, brightened effect under the eye, and I'll just use my beauty blender to blend this out. Like we're talking super brightened, especially in contrast with this foundation. Just loving a classic beauty blender lately. It's been quite a while now that I feel like this is my chosen method. Even if I don't use it for certain foundations, I'll use it for concealer pretty consistently. I just need a sink in here. Ultimate lazy. I know there's a sink like one door down out the hall. You know how it is. I like to be surrounded here. I'm literally surrounded by makeup. I have an L-shaped desk behind me. I've got product back there. I like it all to feel handy. Like, that is probably why I haven't, you know, fully tried to convert a room into a studio, because I like to get ready where I get ready, and I like to have all the access to anything I might want to reference or see or use. You know, concentrate on what you're doing here. Let's get this blended. Concealer kind of likes to set, kind of shutting down here already. I feel like I'm having just a little, maybe a little darkening toward the on the upper lip. I noticed it after coming back from Destin. It's a very common place for people to get melasma. I might say it's more common than up here. And I've got a little redness around the nose I still didn't quite get. I am going to my 24-week doctor's appointment today. Yay! Yesterday I had a dentist appointment. Appointments round and round. So I do feel super brightened. I don't feel unnaturally brightened, really. I just feel like I'm looking good right now. I'm gonna use a little bit of my e.l.f. under eye setting powder. I had pulled this out in a recent video, but I'm kind of, you know, wanting to use it again. It's just a really fine, like super duper fine powder that you can use on your under eye to set it. It takes away powdery texture. It doesn't really add coverage, so to speak. But we're gonna dab a little bit of this on with my small tapered brush. So I have not been watching The Bachelorette like all season long, pretty much. You know, I've peeked in here and there. I noticed Alabama Hannah was wearing the Once palette like last week, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy, because her makeup artist Instagrammed about it. But I love when they do hometown dates, even if I haven't been into the season very tight. Like, my mom's been watching it all season long, but even if I haven't been watching it, we agree that the hometown dates are kind of what make a season more unique, because you meet the families, you see where these people come from, and I don't know, it just sets a season apart a little bit from the others. And Bub was watching it with me. He was sharing all his like first impressions on these dudes. It was really funny. I don't even remember their names well enough, but I think Jeb or Jed or whatever his name is, the one who's trying to be a country singer, I think they're messing with us on that guy. I think she went to his family, and the family acted apprehensive about whether he was ready to get married. The family seemed kind of cold a little bit, and I think that was maybe designed to go that way. I'm being very cynical about this, but in my eyes, just from what I can see, the way that this all lays out, I think he is a front runner, and they're trying to give you doubts and then flip the script on you by the time it's time for her to pick someone. And I also think they were trying to cast doubt in our minds when she went ahead and picked all 4 guys at the end, like it was down to 2, and she should have just given out 1 rose, but she gave out both and let them all stay. I just think that was meant to make the audience wonder more, like that things are more uncertain here than they really are. An outsider's perspective. Okay, the texture of that foundation, it's not really leaving a lot of tackiness that I can feel. I think I'll just very lightly set with the powder I tend to like to set with. This is my IT Cosmetics CC Airbrush Perfecting Powder, SPF 50 Illumination. I've said it before, I'll say it again, I don't feel like the illumination version and the regular version of this have too much of a difference. Oh man, well, we're just talking random here. My hometown is a very small town. We're talking like 1,200 people. You know, it's got a Casey's, it's got a small grocery store, there's like one little cafe. But now, the place that used to be the Tasty Freeze in town, where in the summertime you could get your lemon ice cream when in season. Oh my gosh, that stuff was the best. They have now opened up as a restaurant, like a little branch of another town's restaurant, and I think therefore it may have a chance of really doing well. And something came up on my Facebook page, somebody was showing what they got. It was the most massive tenderloin I have ever freaking seen. Like, they put a bun, like a standard size hamburger bun on it, like just for laughs, but the tenderloin went out way beyond. Like, this was meant to feed a family or something. And I just thought, how crazy. You know, I love tenderloins. What's with my hometown, you know, this random little speck on a map turning out the biggest tenderloin I've ever seen, and they're doing it horseshoe style too. If you don't know what a horseshoe is, guys, that means fries and cheese on top. I need to get back there. I need to have some of that tenderloin. If you've kept up with my vlogs, you know the little stunt I pulled with the Culver's tenderloins for Biddy's birthday. So I'm into it, but I just thought that was so funny. Like, that's where I come from. I'm proud. Seriously, cannot wait to go back there. Okay, here's what I'm gonna use for several face steps. I'm so excited. I got this Kittenish Glow Palette by Jessie James Decker. This is by the brand Alexa Perisco Cosmetics. She put out an eye palette as well. Seems like over a year ago with this brand, and I bought that too, and I like it. But this came out, and I thought, ooh, I've got to try it. And I really like Jessie James Decker. She is, if you're not familiar, she's a country singer. She's a mom. She's married to Eric Decker, former NFL football player. So has anybody else gotten this or tried this or keep up with her on social media and even know what I'm talking about here? But this palette is huge. This is really big. And so I'm gonna use the bronzer shade Maui Me, which has a little shimmer. I really like it. I really like the tone of it. It's got a little reddish tone, which you know I like coming through in my bronzers. And so I'm gonna apply this. I was so excited though, this was waiting for me when I came back from Destin. I really, really enjoy these tones. There's a little bit lighter color up here called Cocoa. And this, like, I could see if you wanted to have a little bronzy glow, but not be quite as intense as that other shade. You could kind of go all over with it almost. And then we have Rosé Cheeks right here, this blush. A little bit of a satiny finish on this one. Really, really like the shade. Like super pretty, just kind of fresh, easy blush. Works with anything, I think. Gonna have to give it that like peachy pink description. That's just kind of what it is. It's kind of a warm pink, I would call it. But there's just so much product in here. And it did come with a brush, a nice brush, by the way. This sort of egg-shaped brush, which I most like to apply the bronzer. But the neat thing about the shape of that brush is you could just put the tip in and have a more precise like application of blush or highlight too. I think it was a pretty good brush choice to put in there. All right, there's our blush, and then we're gonna do the highlight called Moon Dust. And this highlight is not over the top. I'm gonna pop it on. You can see what I mean. Like, it's glowy, but it's not metallic. They didn't just straight up put a metallic highlighter in there. It's more pearly. Like, do you see that pretty sheen? It's pearly, kind of brightening too. Really like it. Like, I could see a lot of different ages using this and being like, okay, that's what I'm looking for in highlight, if a lot of things have been a little more over the top than you've been wanting. I can do a little bit on the Cupid's bow as well. Then I'm going to use my new MAC Prep and Prime that I got from Ulta recently. It's the cucumber one. They were selling this by the checkout, and I mean, how many of you could just walk past that and not give it a second look? That is a good cucumber scent. Really good, really enjoyable, very pure. Got a little dot there of moisture. But here's the way the skin's looking right now. I'm so pleased. But still, that Pretty Vulgar foundation, like, I still don't fully understand it. I don't think it was truly being what it was described or named to be, you know? For brows, I'm gonna go ahead and use my Maybelline Tattoo Studio, which has been really my chosen brow product for weeks now, it seems. I use the shade Ash Brown, and I really like the way it applies. I like the little angled brush and spoolie combo for getting it on. And it also, you know, it has some hold. It lasts a really long time. I've gotten in a real comfort zone with the product where I know what it's gonna do. I've learned how to use it. I am comfortable with it. But I am so excited for this weekend, guys. I have an actual girls trip. Me and Kristen are meeting up in Chicago. Kristen Game, who I've talked about a lot on my channel. I mean, she's just a long time friend who I've met through YouTube. She does YouTube too, of course, if you're not familiar. And she's in Wisconsin, and I'm down here in Southern Illinois, so we're kind of meeting in the middle in Chicago for the weekend. We're having kind of like a spa experience. Guys, I've never had a massage. I've never had a pedicure. This weekend, I'm getting both. I'm getting a prenatal massage and I think a pedicure. It was what we decided on. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. I'm like, does it tickle? Like, I'm very ticklish. And she's like, no, you're gonna be fine. Like, the pressure applied in a massage is not like someone trying to tickle you. I'm such a noob. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be a lot of laughs, I can tell you that much. But this video I'm planning to put up on Saturday, and if I'm not very active, I mean, it'll probably be going up during my slated time to have my prenatal massage. So if I'm not very active on here in the comments. I don't know if I decide to do it that way. I may not be on here in the comments for a little while. But I'm pretty pumped because I'm actually going to be flying up. There's a nearby airport that has flights to Chicago, and I just thought, you know, instead of getting in the Chicago traffic hubbub, which I felt like I was just in when Bub and I went up there not all that long ago, I was like, you know, it'd just be easier to fly to the airport, catch a cab or a train or whatever it takes to get to the hotel. Just do it that way. But yeah, there's my brows. I think I'm gonna just do a little bit of gel just for safekeeping. Got to use this e.l.f. while it's open. But it's been so long since I've gotten to see her and just hang out. And then the following week, I'm going to be seeing David because he's coming through my area. So he's going to be stopping through. And I just like fun times in my world here. We are moving on to eyes now, and I'm going to use this Milani eyeshadow primer. I've got a new palette that I want to play with you guys. This is one of the new-ish ones from Revolution. The packaging is awesome. It's more of a, now I don't know if this is tin. It feels more like that though than the plastic packaging. And it's called the Forever Flawless Unconditional Love palette. Very pinky, purpley, peachy. I want to do kind of a pop on the lower lash line, like maybe a purpley, like little swoop under here. Maybe keep it a little softer and more natural above the eye. What do you think? It's a definite matte and shimmer mix in here, but none of the shimmers seem too like loud and ultra metallic, if you know what I mean. I think I'm going to use a little bit of Promiser. I was hoping when I went to Ulta this past weekend that I would see some of their super huge new like mega reloaded palettes or whatever they're called, but I didn't see any. I would have gotten one of those. But this had been something I'd ordered a couple weeks back just off the website. This is kind of like a mauve-y brown, I'd call it. Then what if we go over that with this shade called Official? This looks like kind of a dusty rose. And let that kind of go in the crease and up above. Biddy's current favorite song that always gets her bopping, we play it at the table while we're eating dinner a lot, is that Thomas Rhett, look what God gave her, how perfect he made her. Like when she hears the little starting line to that song, she gets this look on her face. She closes her eyes and she's just like bopping like this. And she can sing some of the lines too. Okay, we're getting a very like blown out now buffing going on because I kind of went to the crease and beyond with that second shade. Then let's highlight. Gosh, where's the highlight? Didn't put like a real light highlighter in here. Odd. I'm gonna take the shade called Love down. Oh gosh, that looks really pink. Okay, I'll go back to my palette here, my Jessie James Decker. Use some of that. Made a huge difference, I know. Let's go even deeper in the crease now. Let's do a little bit of this color called Attached, this plum. Gosh, still thinking about that tenderloin I was talking about earlier. I mean, I'm pretty hungry this morning. Okay, that kind of added a little something extra to the crease there. Now for the lid, let's try a little of this shade called Love. I find myself just wanting a little more, I don't know, bright lightness maybe. That shade's pretty. Kind of a peach pink on the lid. I ended up putting peach on the lid just yesterday with that Shake Your Pom Poms palette. Maybe Love Letter. Let's try this Rust. Ooh, that's a pretty overlap. Okay, some richness. That's enjoyable. Okay. I kind of want to stop there with the top part of the eye, and I wanted to do kind of a purple thing on the lower lash line. I don't know how I got this idea in my head, but let's take some Love Potion over here. This might be kind of a satin finish. It's hard to tell. Actually, you know what I want to do first? I want to put some purple liner in the lower inner rim. I've got this new from Revlon So Fierce Vinyl Eyeliner, and this is in the shade Powerful Plum. We're going to do some of this just right in here. These are really smooth liners, by the way. But then I can pull it downward a bit and get more purple intensity, and then just kind of blend it out with the Revolution eyeshadows. And then before that all starts to set, I'm just taking my E21 smudge brush, and what I put down on the actual skin of my lower lash line, I'm just now kind of softening that out. Okay, so back to Love Potion, a little bit of this lighter shade. Kind of blend that in, right in here. I don't know how purpley that's coming off on camera, but I'm seeing a lot of purple here in person. And then maybe Movie, some of this shimmery plum down here in the bottom. Use that toward the outside lower lash line. Not sure how I want to finish this off now. I think some eyeliner. Up top, I think I'll use this Renaissance Flick pen, also from Revolution. I maybe do a little wing and then have a smudgy, smoky, like kind of plum coming up to meet it from the bottom. Yep, things were all chatty until I got to the eyes and then really had to be making some decisions, right? I really like the way that peachy shade, this one, blended in with this. That was nice. Should have used my eyeliner stamp on this. Now, this was how I wanted to finish it off. Go to Movie and just let that plumminess really come out underneath. And maybe even extend slightly past that black. I think I like it. I kind of like the separation, like the division of colors. We've got peachy rose up top, we've got plum on the bottom. That's fun to do sometimes. Next up, I'm going to curl my lashes, and we're going to talk a minute about this damn girl mascara. That's the voice you have to say it with, I think. This is the newest thing from Too Faced. I feel like anybody I've seen or heard talk about this gives it really high marks. I'm not feeling it quite so much. I feel like the brush is obnoxious as heck. Just let me show you. This is with, you know, a couple weeks of use. I take it out and these bristles, which are natural bristles, are kind of like laying down, like there's too much product going on and they're just kind of like, they're turning on their side a little bit. They're so overgooped with product. But you know, then we go in anyway, and it does last a long time. Like it's a really long wearing mascara. It doesn't seem to move or flake or anything, but I'm coming at my eye with this huge overgooped, like messy looking wand, and I'm wondering what do people see in this exactly? It does thicken up my lashes well. Can you see that? I feel like I'm taking a huge risk, like trying to get my inner lashes. I'm like, don't touch your skin. And the main part of the brush that I'm relying on is only the tip. Because from here on out, like in the dip, there's a lot of product, and then I got bristles laying over on their side over here. So I've got one kind of decent part of the brush that I'm relying on to build things up. It thickens, it lengthens, it does it pretty quickly. It seems like just a real messy means to getting like an IT Cosmetics superhero type result-ish, maybe not even as lengthened out as that. Freshly taken out of the tube, and this brush looks so thick with product that bristles are like laying over on their side. There's just way too much going on here. I'm putting a little on the lower lashes because that is one redeeming quality of this product, is that it doesn't seem to budge. It's really hard with this huge brush down there. And the tiny little lower lashes. Just wiggle it in the vicinity of the lower lashes and hope it picks up. Okay, I went ahead and popped on some Wispy's false lashes as well. How's this for some OBGYN glam? Should I title it that way? What I'm doing in a day is very secondary to the makeup. You know, they're very rarely related or appropriate to one another. I just do my makeup however I want and I just go about my business. But on the lips, here's something I did want to use. I took this on vacation and didn't end up using it there, but it's one of the new shades of the Lip Cloud from M Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Magic Hour. Now I'm pretty sure Magic Hour was a lip gloss color, so now they've kind of taken this rich sort of dusty peach, turned it into a liquid lipstick, but the Lip Clouds are very, very nice liquid lipsticks, I must say. So I thought this might be fun to kind of play off of the peachiness, the rosiness that's coming off of the top part of our eye. We'll see. These are very lightweight and not super drying, so that's nice to see. I really love how M Cosmetics, they put things out slowly and thoughtfully, and everything has turned out to be really great. At the same time, I hope they continue you know, doing more and more. They're making some great decisions. That's all I can say. That's pretty. That's kind of a fun summery shade that I really haven't worn a lot of so far this season. Let's take the hair down. Oh, I also did add just a touch more blush already. Already did that. If you were waiting for me to do it, I did it right after I applied my lashes. But this was a fun look. I just love sitting down and chatting with you guys, putting on makeup, just having fun. It was fun to sort of show you some of the newer products that I've been playing with lately. This Pretty Vulgar foundation, I mean, it's a fine foundation. They did a gorgeous job packaging it. It's just, I feel like some of the ways it was described on the website, it doesn't really turn out to be those things. Like you'd think it would be thinner somehow. They put water in the name. That kind of gives you a different expectation, right? Didn't really find it to be cooling either. With that being said, I got good coverage out of it. I have had nice staying power with it. I don't feel like it's particularly nourishing to the skin. It doesn't give you that kind of added hydration boost type feel, so just be aware of that. I guess I'm glad I went ahead and tried it. I wouldn't advise using 2-hole pumps though, like they say. I've been loving this Jessie James Decker palette, by the way. I really genuinely enjoy those steps of makeup anyway. The face color steps, the bronzer, the highlight, the blush, so that's fun for me, but I think those shades come together quite nicely. This Revolution palette here has really, when you start looking at it, you see some overlapping shades that maybe could have been dialed back or edited down a little bit. Like you got a couple of these burgundies. Mid-tone browns, there's quite a bit in here. I think you could have at least swapped out one of those overlapping situations for a light highlight shade, but it contains some of the kinds of colors I like to see side by side on the eye. Like I love a peach and I love a plum, and I was able to execute both in the look. Not a fan of the Damn Girl mascara. I just feel like that brush is a bit much. It's a bit too crazy, and it's gotten messier and messier looking the more I've used it. I do, however, love this lip color. Can you tell it's deepened just a little bit since I put it on? These liquid lipsticks aren't like the worst offenders of color changing, you know, but I feel like I like the added bit of depth this now has because I love the way that pairs with the eye. So thank you guys so much for your time today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what products you've been interested in lately, anything you'd like to see a review on. I love to hear your feedback, and I will talk to you again very soon. Bye.